Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make a dress. And this is because when I was learning how to make these, I couldn't find a lot of tutorials on it. They were pretty much all from Roblox, which isn't a problem, but I wanted a little bit fancier. But don't worry, I will show you how to make the dress. We're going to start off with a simple dress, because it's good to start out simple. Very good to start out simple. Trust me, if you start off trying to make the world's greatest dress, you're gonna be sad. I tried to make fancy first and it didn't go well. So I'm gonna use a model I've been working on as the base. You're probably gonna recognize it, you might. I haven't seen the show it's from, but I do know enough about her to make her, and plus she was the only one with like a really good 3D model sheet. So this is Kierflora. I made this model using some references. It uses the Lightning Boy shader, and I'm just warning you because when we make new objects, it might look weird because the Lightning Boy shader uses like a red key light, see red, and a blue black light to do like this rim light and all this cool stuff. So when we add a new object, it's going to look red and blue and purple. But do not panic, that's just because I'm using this shader with these colored lights. So yeah, so this is what we're going to use as our base. Don't worry, I'm going to disable the clothes, and the shoes do disappear. They are her feet, so don't panic. Don't panic the fact she doesn't have feet. I'm going to hide these controllers. I'm also going to hide her hair. Okay, here's our base model. The head's a little lumpy, it's okay. And we're gonna start. So you can either start with a circle mesh, or a cylinder. I prefer starting with a circle. I don't know why, I just do. Mainly because if I start with a cylinder, I have to remember to delete the top and bottom faces. So let's go into edit mode and move the skirt up. Hit E to extrude, and yeah, we're gonna want it here. As I said, purple, blue, yeah. Purple here, blue, red. Okay. I'm gonna want you guys to select every other set of two faces. Select every other set of two faces. And if your circle or cylinder doesn't have the default amount, just make sure you have evenly spaced faces, because we want to make sure that we have 2 empty, 2 selected, 2 empty, 2 selected. Go up to top mode, switch to scale, and we're going to scale with this blue scale because we only want to scale on the X and Y axis, not on Z. And we want to scale out. We could scale in, but that would make a spiky dress, and I don't think we want a spiky dress. Unless you want a spiky dress, then go ahead. There. Ta-da! So I'm going to grab this top edge and scale it down to a little bit bigger. I'm probably going to move it down a little bit. Don't worry, we're going to fix the clipping. Do this, make an edge cut, and scale it. So we get like I think this is called like a cupcake for dress types, like a cupcake poof. You can do more of an A-line if you want, but you'd have to worry about hip clipping. I like the cupcake poof because it avoids clipping and it's cute. So I'm going to actually hit E to extrude and to go up. I'm going to use my Loop Tools add-on to make it a circle. And I'm just going to scale it in a little bit. Maybe adjust it. There. Switch to vertex mode and make a vertex group and assign it. This is going to be important because we want to make sure that this, we're going to use a shrink wrap modifier to make sure that these connect so we can't like stare down through the skirt like this. Okay. I'm going to return to layout. I'm gonna hit shade smooth, but with the Lightning Boy shader, it doesn't always work that well. You'll see in a second when I apply subdivision. Oh, it's working. It wasn't working last time. I was just saying, because sometimes it does like this where you can see it, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. A lot of times we're not going to get that close. Okay, so I'm going to add a shrink wrap. I'm going to go ahead and do the vertex group first so it doesn't scare us when it shrinks. And I'm going to hit the base. And see? Ta-da! It might be a little weird here. You can just do like a little bit of this, and it'll have a little bit of poof out. You can do like a 0.5 if you want. Gosh. Ah! Nope. You can do that, and then it's pretty close still, but I think I'm just gonna stick with 0. And it might look better if you hit subdivision surface. There we go. Okay. Perfect. That's a skirt. I'm just going to go to UV editing. I'm gonna apply, apply the texture I want. Unwrap it. And just do this. I'm gonna make it dark. And that way it matches the model. Yeah, here we go. This is what I was talking about. But yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's all good. So for a dress, a lot of times when you make a dress, depending on your style and choices, you can make it one solid piece or 2 separate pieces. And make the illusion that is one solid piece. I'm gonna do the illusion one because this has a lot of extra vertices compared to the base model. So for the top, I'm just gonna duplicate the some of the base mesh. So select all I want, hit Shift D to duplicate, separate selection. Okay, make sure everything is. I don't know what this came from. I guess edge flow. Move this out. Turn circle off. Edge flow is important. Otherwise you get some funky things. Okay, there we go. Boop. So I'm gonna go to UV editing. And I'm just gonna unwrap it. And shrinky dink. Put in our color. So we can see it's here, but we're gonna need to fix it so it's not clipping. So go ahead and go to sculpting. I would leave it in this mode. If you're using the shader, otherwise you get glowy. Or you could go to here and select like object, color, but you have to make sure you have the color set to something different. So what you do is you go here, this little square, viewport display, and make it like blue. There. So if you have your viewport shading set to color as object base, it'll look like this. So you can see the difference. You can just go and use the inflate tool to poof it out a little bit. I'm going to go back to modeling real quick, X-ray mode, and I'm going to switch this back over to a mirrored mesh, delete, add modifier, mirror, to the top, clipping, and delete these vertices. There we go. Actually, turn mirror off real quick, and then turn it back on. Okay, now it's mirrored, so anything I do on one side will be perfect on the other. You'll have to be careful because you will tear it a little bit with the inflate brush, but we can fix that. Fix that real easily afterwards. I just want to make sure that this is bigger. Okay, good. We'll go back to modeling, move them in, switch over. You can hide the skirt for a second. Pull these birds out. Pull these birds out just a little bit. Just a little bit. There. Back over. Okay. Ta-da! I don't know what's happened here. You're gonna relax. 0. We're gonna bring it down. Okay, there we go. It's a pretty seamless looking transition. Most people, because of the shader, no, most people wouldn't be able to tell it's 2 separate models, and that's okay. Now we could merge them, but then you'd have to add a lot of extra subdivisions up here, which could work, but it could also accidentally deform the shape and make it really hard to edit because there's a lot of vertices. So we're just gonna leave it like this. Okay. Am I talking way too fast? Okay. Okay, I'm a goof. Please ignore my goofiness, or unless you like it. Okay, now we got our base dress. And this looks pretty good. Kind of looks like a date night dress. But we're gonna do something a little bit fancier. So I'm gonna go back to modeling. I'm gonna grab this lower edge. I'm gonna hit Shift D to duplicate, and then I'm gonna separate it. Separate by selection. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna go over here and name it curve. I suggest naming your thing so you could find them. But here. We're gonna use this as a guide to add some pleats to our dress. So we're gonna need to go to right click and go to convert to curve. Because luckily you can apply an array along a curve. And I'll show you that in a second, but first we need to make our pleats. I'm gonna go to a plane modeling. I'm gonna go ahead and divide it in half, just so we can have a good mirror. But first I'm gonna actually, first I wanna do this little bevel. There. And now I'm gonna apply it in half. I just find it easier to do it this way. Mirror, not mask, new. Mirror, clipping. Select this face, E and extrude up, delete that, drag it in. I'm going to squish it down a bit. We're going to add a subdivision. And ta-da! Now I'm going to go ahead and apply mirror. No, not X. Apply. I'm going to add the array. Make sure this is before subdivision, because if you hit merge, you want it to merge like this, but if it's under, it won't. And now I'm also going to add a curve. And our selected curve will be curve. Woo! But first I'm going to disable that, because what I want to do is in object mode, I'm going to scale this because I want it to stay perfect with our origin. Scale it down, Control A, Control A, scale. Make sure you hit the right buttons. I cannot buttons. I'm going to do from fixed count to fit curve, select curve. And now I'm going to turn this back on. Just take a good look. I'm going to click it. I'm going to do a little scaling so you can apply it so the first and last copies merge, but I found out a lot of times that doesn't seem to do much. Looks like it's, yeah. So I just line it up to where I think it would be good. So here, so when I merge them, we'll have like a equal, like this. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into modeling. I'm going to make it so I can see all of this in edit mode. Go to side view. I'm going to rotate, but make sure you have everything selected. Select the whole thing. And this is because I want This is why we want it close to the origin, because that affects how well. It's like, it applies, like, I guess, the origin to whatever curve you're doing. So it's like, if it's out here, it's gonna look funky, because it's farther from the origin. Closer, farther, closer. So we want to keep it as close to the origin, so that we can edit it and have more control. So I'm actually gonna move it a little here, so that it applies the pleats a little inside. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go to UV editing, apply my material, and just stick it in the corner, so it's white. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the array. I'm going to apply curve. And that's okay. Normally you want to do it in order, but it works for here. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to grab these two and merge at center. Merge at center. Yeah, ta-da! It's pretty good. It's kind of hard to see with this shader, but that's okay. If you want, you can delete this curve now. Delete. Ta-da! Now let's just add a couple more final touches. Go up here. First of all, we need to scale this out. Don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna quickly I'm gonna grab this, and do clear seam. You don't really need those. Clear. Discord is squeaking at me. Here's my. Don't worry. I'm gonna clear seam here. Delete that. Delete that. There we go. I'm going to use L to select the link, and because it has a seam, it will just select this one, like UV island. And I'm just going to move that over to white. There, nice little white color. We're almost there. Okay. Sleeves. I'm going to hit E to extrude. I'm going to hit a little bit of the I'm going to do the little relaxy thing. To relax the geometry, I'm going to hit E one more time, extrude, then change it to circle, and adjust it. Make it a little bit bigger. Make a little poof sleeve. Poof. E, scale that back down. I'm going to hit E one more time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these edges, because we're going to add a little ruffle. I'm going to do a nice little bevel, but I'm going to add a segment. And now I'm going to grab these. I'm going to scale them. I'm going to scale it in. And then I'm going to grab this full edge and scale it out. I'm going to grab this edge, relax it a bit. Or maybe not. Actually, it kind of looked nice that way. What is it doing? I don't know why it looks different. Is it armature? Mirror? That is very confusing why it looks different. This is like my second run through of this tutorial and I have no clue why it does it different. Hold it, maybe mesh. Sometimes this works. Normal is recalculate outside. Okay. That is weird. That is very weird. What if I just delete all groups. Just delete all of these. Interesting. Oh, now I know. I must have been on a shape key. Derp. So I would recommend doing this before you make any shape keys, because you might accidentally make it on a shape key and then chaos. But you know, we learn through errors. Mistakes are the path to glory. The path of glory is paved with mistakes. Let's see, what if I do edge crease here? Oop. And then just make this poof, poof, poof. Okay, yep. Ta-da! Darn. Oh, I forgot one. Derp. Did I forget one? That's weird. Relax. We can just do it again. We can just do it again. This is not, at least in my workflow, I do a lot of these derps. So don't feel bad if you have a lot of derps in your process, because eventually it'll make something epic. Yeah, nice beautiful sleeve. There we go. And yeah, we have a nice little dress. We can do a little bit of editing. You want you can add like a couple of edges if you want to help try to keep the body shape. There we go. Yep. My hand's falling asleep. No! You could add a little belt and a bow. But yeah. This is the dress. I'm gonna turn clothes on real quick. Just ignore it. I want the shoes. That's all I want. All I want is the shoes. Well, I guess we have a bow now. That's okay. If you have a bow, you can leave it. It's fine. I can just go to UV editing. Click, 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 click. There. Beautiful. Okay, now we have a beautiful dress, except yours won't have a bow because I just decided to keep it. It was a mistake. Yeah, if you would like more tutorials on how to make different dresses, if you want to learn how to make the Kira Flora dress, the normal one, you can let me know. It just looks like this, minus this bow would be the other color. Yeah, I forgot. There. Ta-da! You don't worry. Don't worry. But yeah, we have a beautiful dress. Okay, I hope that was good. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.